I really love Eragon. I really love Eldest. They are two of my favorite fantasy books as a kid, rereading them again and again because I love them so much. Even doing reviews for them here was a nostalgic rush. Yeah, the books are a beat-for-beat retelling of A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back with a Lord of the Rings paint. Yeah, it doesn't do anything different or new within the genre, but I still stand by what I said. Eragon is a great gateway book for people to get into fantasy, and Eldest is a proper sequel expanding the characters and the world in the right ways, leaving your mouth watering for the final book to come out. That's not what happened. As some of you might know, I've been referring to the series of books as the Inheritance Trilogy, because when they were first being released, they were supposed to be a trilogy. It's written in plain black ink on my copies. But while writing the final book, Popovich discovered that his final volume was going to be too long, like almost 2,000 pages. So instead of condensing, he decided to split the final book into two books and relabel them as the Inheritance Cycle. That's right, he George R.R. Martin us! And I was happy by the news. I mean, this was the only series I really knew about that featured talking dragons, and knowing the series was going to continue made me excited. Oh boy, talking dragons, yes! Then in 2008, Brisingr was released. And how was it? Well, I really do like the first two books. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, my name is David Popovich, aka the Bookworm, and welcome to Bookworm Reviews. Sit back and relax as we dive into Brisingr, the third book in the Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. Okay, so bear with me as I quickly retell the last book, aka spoilers. So it turns out the cripple who is whole is actually an elf dragon rider named Oramus with his golden dragon Gladder. The two have been in hiding since they were both mortally injured during the fall of the riders, leaving Gladder missing one of his legs and Oramus unable to perform great magic without suffering from seizures. Eragon is pissed they have been in hiding for so long, but upon learning their reasons why, he accepts it. They train him, teaching him and Saphira a lot of Dragon Rider secrets, leading to a special blood oath ceremony where Eragon is given the gift of the elves. I'm no longer just human, and I'm not quite an elf. I'm something else in between. A mix. A half-breed. Meanwhile, Roran loses his love Katrina to the Razaks when her father betrayed them, leaving Roran to take everyone in his village on a perilous journey to the Varden and find his cousin. Also, Nasada deals with holding her position as leader of the Varden in the country of Surda as they are waiting for Galbatorix's first attack. Learning the news, Eragon leaves, leading all three into a massive battle. At first, it looks like they are about to win when another red dragon appears. But not Galbatorix. The rider overpowers Eragon, and it's revealed to be Murtagh! Not dead, but taken during the Urgo attack! Since he was the son of Morzin, one of the evil riders, the red egg hatched for him, and Galbatorix made them swear to him in the ancient language. He's about to take Eragon, but because of some stuff I can't really remember, he doesn't, but takes Eragon's sword, since it was his father's sword. Oh, and it turns out Morzin is Eragon's father. Yeah. What a twist! Defeated, Eragon reunites with Roran and prepares to face Murtagh again, but first he promises Roran to rescue Katrina from the Razak, which is where Brisingr picks up, the two right at the Razak's lair to face the foe that took everything from them. And after a tough battle, they are able to rescue Katrina, leading to one of my favorite moments in the entire series. Never taking her eyes off Roran, Katrina stood and, with a shaking hand, touched his cheek. You came. I came.
Good night, everybody.
All the while, Eragon is dealing with Murtagh's revelation and some really uncomfortable facts about his once best friend. Murtagh might serve Galbatorix against his will, and he might arbor the atrocities the king forced him to commit, but some part of him seemed to revel in wielding his newfound power. All the while dealing with his own inner issues of killing so many people. I know what we do is right, but right doesn't mean easy. Linkin Park is your friend. Then this is where it all falls apart. This is the part where I explain the general synopsis of the book, what the main story is, and what character dilemmas to expect and see how they grow. I can't really do that. Not with this book. If I tried, I spoil nearly the entire book. Cause you see, Brisingr doesn't have a main plot. Well, okay, the main plot is defeat Galbatorix. Let me rephrase that. Brisingr doesn't have a narrative through line. Instead, what we get is a subplot book. You can tell because the subtitle for this book is The 7 Promises of Eragon Slayshare and Saphira. I'm not even going to try pronouncing that. Brisingr is nothing more than a bunch of episodic adventures as Eragon completes a lot of tiny subplots built over the previous books I haven't talked about for the sake of time. But Bookworm, how do you know? Let me ask you, what was the main narrative through line in Eragon? To get revenge on the Razak. What was the main narrative through line in Eldest? To train to become a better writer. Yeah, these changed over time in the books, but it's the glue that held the books together, where they were going, what they were learning, how they were growing, while Brisingr doesn't. What it offers is a checklist of all the little things Eragon has piled up on himself to complete. And it doesn't work. At all. You can't tell a bunch of unconnected events and call it a story. Why? Because without that glue, it becomes aimless. And that's what Brisingr is. Aimless. Hardly anything of real importance happens, which is strange to say since overall, these are important events. Narrative plot points going all the way back to the first book paying off. And it mostly falls flat on its face. None of it really matters because it doesn't move the plot forward or change the characters. If anything, it just moves some of the pieces around to set up for the next book. So in other words, Brisingr is the Amazing Spider-Man 2, which only hurts more when you're reading a 750-page story, only to realize it's the first 100 and last 100 that really have any meat on them. I wish I was joking, but my god, if there is a book to showcase the flaws in the series, it's this one. An overwritten, aimless mess with very little payoff or character development. I mean, Eragon doesn't have much to do in almost any of it. It's only the last 100 pages that we finally see some development appear in yet another plot twist, but it doesn't work because I've already checked out 200 pages ago. And this book does show promise and has moments in it that really do work. The beginning with the Razak shows one of the most important plot points in the entire series being concluded, and we are given hints of where Eragon's character is going as the war rages on. None of the warriors Eragon had met in the Varden seemed troubled by the blood they shed, and even though Roran admitted he disliked killing, he did not wake up screaming in the middle of the night. And yet, none of it is really addressed. Hell, the same can be said about Roran, whose arc is just him becoming a commander, and Nasada has only one chapter. That's nothing more than to explain why she's not in the story. Not to mention when you learn why the book is called Brisingr. It's clear that the titles for the books hint at what the main story is going to be about. Eragon is about Eragon. Duh. Eldest is about brothers. And Brisingr... I can't say because of spoilers, but trust me, when I realized what the title meant after waiting 3 years for another exciting adventure, it's a real letdown. God, I want to like this book, but I can't. It's pointless. Stuff happens, big stuff, little stuff, stuffy stuff, and yet 80% of it doesn't matter, going nowhere and accomplishing nothing, with a lackluster climax leading to what should be a tragic moment as a major character dies to raise the stakes, but only to have it ring hollow. Oh god, this really is like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Damn it. I really do like the first 2 books. But I have no love for this one. You could do so much better with your time than reading this. And as for the final book, that's a review for another day. Damn it. What about you, Internet? What's your opinion about Brisingr? A special shout out to Ian Vulu and Sarah Acosta for suggesting the book. Thank you for your support. If you have a book you would like me to review, let me know in the comments below. But that was just an appetizer, for next month is February, and you know what that means? Bad Romance Month. Oh yeah, baby. And just guess what next week's book is. You know what it is. The big one. The finale to one of the worst series of all time, Breaking. What the hell is that? There's a 5th Twilight book? Oh, God. Till next time, have a nice day.